I'd like to give a special and warm welcome to my Financial Times Alphaville viewers, the Wall Street Journal, my Davos CEOs. I decided that if I was going to launch an amazing DVD on Amazon.com, I had to have a fun video to go along with the announcement. It's called Career Navigation: 7 Steps to Success. So today I want to talk about some of the most famous people that I've met. And yes, she was stunning. I've attended meetings at the Council on Foreign Relations. As a top headhunter, I've met some pretty amazing people. Also in my social life, both in New York and now in Naples, Florida. I have actually met both candidates who are running for president. The most famous Davos CEO I've met is Sir Martin Sorrell, and perhaps that will get me the invite to World Economic Forum this year. I want to interview you on camera, so I thought in order to make my CEOs and my billionaires and my celebrities more comfortable, I've actually been this close to Prince Charles when he was playing polo in England. And I've also been this close to the Princess of Wales. It was not uncommon for me when I lived in New York to have dinner with people like Charlie Rose, Deborah Norville. I've met Phil Donahue. Charlie Rose and I were actually at a very fancy event. We had had a nice, chat with Dan Rather, and it was time to leave the party. Standing next to me in the elevator was Gregory Peck. And that was the only time in my life I've ever been awestruck, was meeting Gregory Peck. Who is the most famous billionaire that I've met? Well, that would have to be probably David Koch. When I started my company, I launched it on Park Avenue. Some of my favorite restaurants to dine were, of course, the Four Seasons restaurant, especially for a business lunch. And if they were in the tech industry and they forgot that navy blue blazer, well, the Four Seasons had it for them, so it was okay. One of the most famous, I suppose, would be Christopher Heath, the former CEO of Barings. Now, this was after Barings, but Christopher Heath is one of the most charming British men in New York. I also loved Le Cirque. Sirio did such a magnificent job. One of the most charming CEOs that I've ever met in my whole life is Daniel Morel, the chairman of Wonderman. He's French by background, has lived in the United States much of his life. We would head over to La Grande Nuit on East 52nd Street, one of the finest French restaurants in the entire world. I've even sat upstairs at La Grande Nuit, where they have sort of the artist's room, the private room, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The Carlyle Hotel for dinner. And who was standing right next to me but Nicole Kidman? And she was waiting for her date. This was before she got married the second time. I'm really excited to share my new DVD. I've worked so hard on this video over the course of the last year, and I hope that you'll all buy it. Whether you're in career transition, you're an executive, a professional, a creative entrepreneur, or maybe you just want to get more discovered online, this video is for you. I even mentioned some of my favorite CEOs. So please watch for it. It's a DVD. It will also be available as a video on demand on Amazon.com. Who is the most famous author you've ever had lunch with? Well, that would have to be Deepak Chopra. I attended the Chopra Center event on synchronicity out in California. It was one of the most memorable 3 days of my life. And I saw an empty seat, and I sat right down there at Deepak Chopra's table and had lunch with him. Hi, Deepak. I highly recommend The Happiness Prescription DVD and video on Amazon with Deepak Chopra. And he's also written an amazing book on the soul of leadership. And he's actually teaching that as an executive education class. He's taught it at the Kellogg MBA school where I went. I've been in the same room with Mike Bloomberg at dinner. I've met Diana Taylor. She's lovely. I know you Davos men would love to meet Melania and me. And the last question is, who are the CEOs that you haven't met yet that you'd most like to meet? Well, there are so many that I would love to meet, but there is one CEO that I would most like to meet. But if I tell you who it is, the other CEOs might get jealous, so I'll have to leave it at that. But maybe he knows who he is. But now I live in sunny Naples, Florida. I'd like to invite all of my CEOs to come here and interview with me on camera in Naples, or to get me invited to World Economic Forum, Cannes Lions, and Bilderberg. Paul Pullman at Unilever, Muhtar Kent at Coca-Cola, Sir Martin Sorrell at WPP Group, as well as Michael Corbett at Citigroup, and Richard Branson at Virgin. Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, because he won the Davos CEO Challenge this year by bringing 4 female delegates to Davos. We can talk about the yin-yang of leadership, as I call it, the feminine leadership style. I'd like to give a special and warm welcome to Paul Murphy, the editor of FT Alphaville, as well as my viewers in 65 countries around the globe. I'm excited to be here, excited to share some of my life with you. And please be sure and like this video and share it with others. Head over to Amazon.com and buy the DVD or video on demand called Career Navigation: 7 Steps to Success. Stay tuned. I'm Sandra Rupp. I was placed on the Thinkers 50 Guru Radar list for the world's top business thinkers. These are not all the famous people I've met. There are definitely more. You can follow my tweets at Exec Career Coach and subscribe to my YouTube videos at Career Expert on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching.